And I'm like, oh no, all right.
Okay.
Is there? Because I've never considered asking this. Is there any sort of state I can leave it in to make it even a few seconds faster to put it back on?
Uh, y- sure, you can place the pieces very carefully where you normally would like intuitively go. Sure, we'll
Oh
say that
well,
shave off 30 seconds.
we determined this one was one of the ones that just kind of opens up and you have to kind of
Well, then not
yeah
really. You can
yeah
leave it open.
yeah. I'll leave it open. First, I'll get back to the loading bay because it wouldn't do me much good to try and wiggle through all this
No,
stuff after I get
that's
so.
rough.
Yeah, get back
Yeah.
to the loading bay, get out as fast as I can, and start trying to follow Bear's directions.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
All right. So you follow his directions and you do so. I mean, oh my God, Inferno, what's the matter with you? My mind's going 100 different places.
I
That's the problem.
understand. A lot of stuff's
Um,
happening.
so you follow Bear's instructions and you navigate the woods carefully. Give me a pilot check, just in case.
Sure. Hang on a second. What is my piloting skill? Is uh, 71. So
Okay.
one.
Okay. All right. Not only do you navigate
Wow.
exactly where Bear wants to go, but you actually find, as a spur of the moment, intuitively,
Mm-hmm.
you're able to find a few other shortcut paths that go along the same direction. And you're able to, like, for example, there'd be a very narrow area. The Bear says that he doesn't think that you can make it, and you're just like, no, no, I can make it. And you squeeze the behemoth through there, saving you time and really putting them off the scent, so to speak. If you do have any followers, they're going to have a fuck of a time trying to find you, even in this behemoth, because this wood is just so forested and there's such a large area. Of course, during this time, your little the communicator, when you told Nathan to pretty much go screw himself or whatever, he did leave a couple other messages, but I'm assuming you were too busy or without earshot to even listen to them. So that's fine, but just so you know, that happened. Because I meant to mention that, but then,
Is
you know,
there
everything
is
else
there while I'm piloting, would there
Uh-huh.
be time to glance at them or?
Sure, sure, sure. Well, it's both an auditory and visual cue, both by light and sound. You were trained enough; you can decode the auditory cue in your head as far as messages go.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, because I would be very very interested in anything he says.
Oh, okay. Then the first now Inferno has to go to the Wayback Machine in his mind and remember exactly what the last thing that you told him was. If you remember,
You got to
feel
learn to
free
let things go.
Oh yeah, you gotta learn to let things go. And
Oh, he's not gonna like that.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's
no,
not.
no, no. But his responses are short and to the point, perhaps even confident. And he will simply say, he has two responses. The first is, I know you're not as good as you think you are, Castle. That's the first message. And the second one is, oh, this is what I wanted him to say. Thank you. Oh my God, this reminds me. The last thing is, you don't live in a vacuum. I can and will find you. And then that's it. And that's the last of it.
All right,
Okay.
Al wouldn't respond even if he could. So yeah.
All right, cool. All right, excellent.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Al,
Mm.
do you want me to get rid of that? Since we're done with it, or
No, no, there's no way for him to track it in any way that I know of, right?
yeah,
What's
but
the it. Oh,
the clicker.
Oh no, I was actually the GM.
Oh, me? Sorry, sorry. Ask
There's
again.
Al doesn't know of any way that this could be tracked or followed or.
It doesn't. I mean, when you were using it, the old coder, it
Yeah.
doesn't come with a tracking system.
Okay. Al would be like.
Like that's not part of its hardware.
Why would you want to keep it?
You never know.
You never know that you'd want to get back in touch with Nathan.
No, but it has more than just one use.
Isn't it? I thought you explained it to me that it's only coded with Nathan over
At the
that one
moment,
frequency.
it can be, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it can be reprogrammed for other tasks and uses, right?
Yeah, just crack that
Yeah.
fucker open, and I'm sure you can manipulate it.
You know what? Tell you what, ask Patrick if he has any use for it. If not, throw it.
Patrick?
Oh, yeah, I can probably use it.
Patrick,
It would
if you
help to
can...
know if there's an off switch to this thing.
I was going to say, if you can, Patrick, just make sure there's no tracking devices or anything of the kind, and then it's all yours.
Well, inherently, it always sends out a signal because it's always going to be an out signal.
Mm.
But
Would I know? Is there an off switch?
No, these things aren't programmed for an off switch. The only thing to turn it off is to take out its battery,
Okay, then,
which is internal.
Then Al would direct
Yeah.
Tom or someone how to take out the battery.
Okay. I'll take out the battery if I can.
Okay. Alex instructs you how to open it up, and it doesn't open. You try. You're doing you're saying okay, well, turn and twist. There's a small line for you to put your fingernails in and open it up, and it's not there. It's welded shut.
Okay. Second plan. Someone take it out the back and shoot it.
Well, I can just burn it.
You're
That'll
moving
work
now.
too. Well, yeah, I meant the cargo bay. Yeah, Tom, just
Okay.
let's not fiddle with this. Destroy it.
Okay, I will destroy it in my hands.
Using what? I know your fire, but what?
Fire.
What, ability.
Nice.
SD. Shut up. I mean SDC, MDC. Describe
MDC
what you
fire.
do with it.
MDC fire. I want to hold it in my hand, and then
Uh-huh.
I'll light my hand on fire while it's inside.
Okay. How much damage would you be doing to it?
A D6
Okay.
MDC.
Okay. Roll it.
Okay.
Four.
MD6.
The casing starts to crack, but that first jolt of fire that you put on it doesn't destroy it. You can.
I'm
keep
going
trying.
to widen my eyes and look at Al while I try again.
Quick question. Is this unusual for Al's point of view?
Yep.
Al goes,
It would be
"Huh."
mega mega damage materials,
Mhm.
but okay, you don't know how much damage Tom is doing it to it.
Right, but
But that much mega damage materials? You've seen Tom do stuff. You see him burn up
Right.
that machine Rhino Buffalo, and it's not cracking. I mean, it's cracking a little bit, but it hasn't solidified it. That's pretty strong.
Al will go, huh? That's unusual. Tom, can you destroy that thing?
Yeah, if I have enough time.
We don't have a lot of time.
Use Mila's hand.
Yeah.
Use this is the ghost of Kriana.
Where's
I don't know
where's
if I
Mila's?
can.
Everyone gets the idea at once. Hey, where is Mila's hammer?
I don't see. I
I'm
don't,
just going to keep trying and lighting it on fire while you guys look for it.
I can't look for
Alright.
it. I'm piloting.
Yeah, he's piloting.
Yeah.
Here, why
I'm
don't
going
you
to
roll
try
another
and
d6.
yeah, I'm going to try and increase, instead of just a little bit of mega damage, I'm going to try and step away from everybody and light my entire arm on fire. And Try
Okay.
and do 2d6.
Okay. Roll
Does
it.
that work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I think that makes perfect sense.
10.
Okay. Flowing fire through your arm and into the device itself. The casing finally cracks open and actually flies from your finger because the pressures created was so intense, smashing into two pieces. The top half falls off to the left onto the couch, and the right half falls onto the ground and skids a little bit. Patrick, roll me a 1d100.
Okay.
Al makes a comment of, "Remind me not to arm wrestle you."
Okay. Patrick, would it be fair to say that you take a glance at the pieces that fall on the ground?
Oh yeah, he would be immediately interested in something that seems to be electronic and not acting like it usually does.
Good. All right, because it's doing both those things. Electronic. It looks a little cindered. It looks a little burnt a little bit. Yeah, you see the transmission board and the little tiny motherboard on it. You see a battery, and you see something else that, ooh, Ooh, that's a tracking device. Oh. Oh no. That was put inside.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm
Would I know if it's still functional?
Well, that little blue light that's beeping a little bit, that makes it seem like it's pretty functional.
Oh, splendid.
And this is after
All
all
right.
my nifty maneuvers, yes?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yep.
All right. All right. So, it is a pure signal that is.
I love how Patrick's just looking like, okay, pure signal,
Okay.
pure signal. So
All
keep
right.
going.
So it has to have a frequency enough that it would know exactly where we were, including those probably bikers that actually came towards us. Distance is longer than 15,000. Phew. How far can this go, and can I track it? Probably not. I would have to have 2 points, and I don't have that. All right. We should probably just destroy it.
I like just imagine Patrick just sitting here like, nope, okay, yeah, we should probably just.
And Al's mouth is just dropping open. Like,
Look in front of you.
You see-
You're almost going to hit a tree.
how much
I-
time has passed since the hour?
Since the hour?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll say about 35 minutes.
Oh, you know what? We could probably just
Yep.
detach this thing. Without a power source, that probably wouldn't do anything.
Oh, fuck.
I'm
I just thought of something.
what?
And Tom's going to put his hand on his head and go, "Oh shit! He knows where we went."
Yeah, we're still moving. though.
I really
No.
and GM, you can correct me on this. Tracking devices don't cover that kind of range.
Unless you have a satellite dish, not so much.
Yeah, we were like hundreds.
He could know where we possibly went.
You know what? Okay, here's a
Disappeared.
question. To the best of Al's knowledge, is there any tracking device, non-magical, that the Coalition would use that could track you hundreds and hundreds of miles away?
Using radio signals?
Yeah.
To the best of Al's knowledge, no.
Okay. Al would say, I am fairly confident it doesn't go that far. Not 100%, but confident enough to say that we shouldn't worry about it too much.
So
You're
radios.
also confident. Hold on. You were also confident that they wouldn't have put a tracker in here. I'm sorry. I'm not believing you right now. I'm panicking. We need to destroy this right now. I'm gonna go running for Mila's hammer.
No,
Okay.
No one's denying that it needs to be destroyed.
I will message
right.
Inferno where the hammer is.
Okay.
All right.
The hammer is my penis.
Here's a better idea,
Oh my
Patrick.
God.
Yeah.
Patrick, why don't you just disconnect it and step on it? And
Already on it.
Okay.
Well,
All
or
right.
that. That works too.
All right.
Tom's gone at this point.
A quick electric engineer check, Piff.
Sure.
Just make sure you don't jolt yourself. Yeah, you're fine. You disconnect it. You step on it. It crunches. The blue light stops.
Just so I was in the curiosity of this, I go back to my radio signal tracker thing. Does one of them stop going? Or one of them's more... Actually, no, they're being encoded. Never mind.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, you don't know
no.
what this-
Even if it was encoded or not, it stopped signaling, so I would notice if it was there or not.
Yes, it did stop.
Oh, okay.
All right, so here's the question. They obviously know where we are right at this moment. We've got at least 30 minutes before Tyrath comes back. Do we try and run for it? Do we try and fight? Here's a very good question. The terrain we're in right now, does it look wide open? Does it look like maybe I might be able to lose someone from this point on?
Depending on what that someone is. The behemoth is not known for its combat effectiveness or really its great agile maneuverability.
Mm-hmm.
If it's another maybe robot around the same size, sure. If it's anything like those Sky Cycles, a really good ATV, power armor, there is no way you're going to shake it.
Right.
No way. You just don't have the mobility.
Al's like,
It's not in the loading bay, Tom.
Okay.
Inferno knows where it is.
I
know.
do.
all right. Al's gonna start
I'm
looking.
gonna spend a good amount of time in there though, looking for
Okay.
everything.
Al's gonna start looking for a defensible position, someplace he can park the behemoth where the weakest leg will be all but impossible to hit. Maybe a cliff face or high rock, something.
You can find a high rock face, sure. It takes about you spot it with Bear's assistance. It is probably going to be a 5-minute trek there, but it's pretty defensible. It's on a hill. It has some natural cover that you can use to protect the wounded leg. That really, actually, I'll say it's so good that someone would have to literally get right up on it to damage the leg, especially if you're in like a docking position.
Mm-hmm.
It's as solid as you're going to get.
All right. I will park it there, and since Bear is with me, I will turn to Bear and I'll say, I'm going to be completely honest with you. The Coalition are not here for Nora. They're here for me and Tom. But they also will not let her live.
I understand.
Patrick is actually going to be, just a very, very small note, going to be writing down the frequency of the tracker, and
Okay.
he's just going to store that in his pocket, basically.
Okie dokie. All right.
Al will nod and he'll say, I'm truly sorry for dragging you into this, but we might need
Do
your
not be
help."
sorry. I thought I lost you forever. Fate has decided that I meet up with Nora, and for that I am glad. Everything else can be fixed. Everything else can be resolved. Tell me what you need me to do, and I will fight to protect her life.
I honestly am not sure of your capabilities or how best to use you, but I can tell you what's coming towards us.
Speak.
Probably more cycles like the ones we faced, perhaps a robot, combat capable, much more durable than the one we're in now. Possibly ground troops. You have already proven that you can handle them. I'm not sure what your talents are, so I would leave that to you. But we have maybe 30 minutes before we get help. And when we get the help, we are, for lack of a better term, going to be moving very quickly many, many, many miles.
I see. Are you certain you will not leave this machine? It will be so much easier to avoid them. With being small targets in the woods, I could camouflage you, I could hide you very easily. I would feel much better if all this is actually coming. We might not be able to survive a fight like this.
It's true, and I hear the wisdom in your words, but two things. One, everything we have, everything we own is here. And two, I don't know camouflage and I don't know woods. I know this.
Very well. Then I will say something very clear, very understood, so you are not surprised. If we look like we are overrun, if it looks like it's too bad, I will take her and I will go.
If it looks like we're not going to make it, save her.
I will.
And then Al will, just to be sure he's not making choices for the group themselves, he's going to go try and get to everyone who's conscious and be like, look, Bear is suggesting we run for it. I think that we stand a better chance waiting out the time here in the behemoth and trying to hold off whatever's coming. But if you guys feel it's best to run and leave all this behind... Al just kind of, not really sure, shrugs his shoulders. If we avoid them, fantastic. If we run into them, everything we have to defend ourselves is here.
Did you say this in the loading bay?
I would say this to everyone, yeah. To
Yeah.
the whole crew.
Except for Mila, because she's sleeping.
Except for
Unless
Mila,
she's
'cause
awake
she's-
now.
Oh, so I would say to
Awake?
Mila too, unless she's
If anyone
awake.
wakes her up,
Oh, that might be a good idea.
I would
Oh.
definitely try to wake her up because this is a thing that I'd want everyone to weigh in on if they can.
Okay, if you're gonna try to wake her up, Bear is like right behind you.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I would gently shake her and more until hopefully she wakes.
Yeah, her eyes kind of like slowly open, then they widen, and she like leaps up, jumps back a bit, and then like looks from Bear to like new faced Al, like startled for a moment before like fully remembering what has happened in the past like hour or whatever.
Okay.
It's just
Al hesitates for a second. Mila?
she shakes her head.
No.
Nora.
Okay.
She
Bear
nods.
says.
Nora, we have a
Right.
choice to make. Sorry, a lot has happened. I know a lot is going on, but the coalition is coming. We've got about 30 minutes. And that way I'll just say basically the same thing I said to everyone else. So everyone, this is a choice we need to make together, run or fight.
I'm good with whatever. My head is killing me.
I'm good to stay.
I can give you a painkiller. One that won't
Yeah.
make you groggy.
Do it.
All right, Al's going to inject her with something that's as strong as possible without impairing her.
Bear looks worried as you inject her arm, but he doesn't say anything.
I would
Nora
reassure
gives
him.
a weak thumbs up to Bear.
I would say, Bear, I know you don't know
that
me,
calms him quite a bit.
but I know you
thumbs
don't
up.
know me, but I am a doctor. Trained as a doctor. Al corrects himself.
He doesn't look at you anymore. He looks to Nora.
All right, yeah.
And he's comforted by the thumbs up.
Question. Does Al still have Al's voice, or did he go back to?
Oh God,
No,
that's
Al
a,
What's
still
Al's
has that.
voice?
that's a very good question. I guess I still have my voice.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
narratively, I'll let you guys choose, but
It's up-
because it
it's
was
up
a
to you.
minor oversight, it's up to you guys.
Out of curiosity.
I probably, narratively speaking, would have cut it off the second I stopped talking to Nathan.
Okay.
Well, whoever wielded,
right.
would have had access
Yeah.
to it, though. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Just making sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Tom, Patrick.
I'm good to stay.
I think we would probably have better odds with our arsenal than on foot.
All right, then let's give him hell. By the way, I should probably make sure Alicia. I know she usually kind of bends to the group's will, but let's just be fair. Alicia, we should ask Alicia just to be sure.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, I don't... she has the DM's voice. You know what? I have to say, we can say in character, narratively speaking, she can rationalize either way. I just can't say as Alicia. Even like...
Because that's true, yeah.
even it's just tainted by my own perspective, right? It's just unfair. So to give her an actual vote as to what the group should do, the DM should get a vote. The player should get a vote, right? I'm sorry.
Well, I was actually doing it more for narrative reasons than anyone else because I was assuming
and I
you
do
would,
really
yeah.
appreciate it. That's really cool and that's touching. It's awesome. But yeah.
All right. Okay then. Let's prepare for a fight.
Okay.
Hopefully it
What
won't come.
do
but who
you
knows?
do?
Well, we have an option for me, since I can't really do much if they do the whole sky cycle thing. I can do basically the same version that I was doing before. Stand in the observation deck and just put a wall of fire. Because we parked right next to a cliff, right?
High rock, yeah.
High rock, yeah. I can put the wall on the other side and just sustain it.
Well,
Or like moving around.
If you guys
mean
want.
like use it as a missile defense? Like missile command. You're playing
Yes.
missile command.
Missile defense. Yes. Essentially.
If I understand correctly,
That's if you guys want.
yeah, the way it's parked is that the right side should be fairly well protected by the rock, so all you'd have to worry about is the front, back, and left. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
Al's gonna get
and
into
we-
his power armor and then probably stay on top of the behemoth so that he's mobile.
I'm gonna need you guys to pick a side for me to put the wall up. Do you want it right above us, to the left, in
We
front of us,
probably
behind
shouldn't
us?
use it until we're in a
Yeah,
fight.
I would say that
Okay.
stay in the observation booth and just set it up as needed as the battle progresses.
Okay,
Hey, guys.
because
Oh,
Mhm.
sorry. I'm very, very sorry for interrupting you, but I decided to make an executive decision as a DM.
Okay.
There is a chance. There's always a chance the coalition was going to find you and try to attack you.
Mhm.
I created a table in my mind, and I had Mila roll a d100. The result is that let's save you guys all the time from planning.
All right.
Fair enough, because it would be really unfair of me for a very minor incident or no incident to happen, and you guys do all this planning, and it's a complete waste of your fucking time. Is that fair?
Yeah.
You think that's
that's
okay?
fair.
yeah, that's
Mhm.
fair.
All right. Okay, good. Because I don't want you guys to spend a half hour planning and then nothing happens. Because
Yeah.
if you'd like, I can just explain what happens
Sure.
as a heads up.
Go for it.
Okay.
We can just say narratively we went through it all. Yeah. The
Yeah,
plan.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, cool. Thank you for understanding. So so what you had was a near miss, which is staying quiet, staying a low profile, thanks to the position that you took, thanks to the area that you're in, thanks to the instructions of Bear and your excellent piloting skill. And I've even factored in you guys spending, 10 minutes to plan what you would do. The worst that you see are 3 sky cycles on 3 separate different occasions. Also, it would be fair to assume that you would power off the behemoth and try to eliminate its signal as best as possible, right? That would be a fair assumption?
I
That's
would
what you
think so.
do?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So good, then the radar wouldn't pick you up. Or there'd be a chance that they could pick you up, and they failed, right? So 3 different three different sky cycles in 3 different circumstances. A pilot near your area. Thankfully, none directly over top. But one is about half a mile away, one's about an entire mile away, and one gets close at about 300 feet. So close that you can hear it. Its thruster is loud, and the air itself starts to shake a little bit as it powers up a jump directly 300 feet away from you. By that time, Tyrath appears, and he asks, "Shall we transport you humans and mortals?" And he looks over to the bear, and Bear looks over to him, and they stare at each other for a moment, and Tyrath gives a shrug. Bear doesn't say anything, and he looks to the rest of them that he recognizes and says, "Shall we be off?"
Bear, are you willing to travel miles?
I go where Nora goes.
Fair
And
enough.
that's all he says.
She gives him a confused look but doesn't say anything.
Okay. Fair enough.
And
All right.
I agree.
I'm ready.
Okay.
ready.
All right. And with that, another flash of sparkling, shimmering green light. And at this point, the portal itself opens directly above the behemoth. And the portal itself is the one that moves. And it comes from the sky, sinking towards the rock, enveloping you all in this green light. And when the green light fades, once again, you're back at the base of the Appalachian Mountains. Those who have it, give me a land navigation, please.
All right.
Okay. I think Tom has one too, so I'm waiting for him. Okay, all right.
Boom!
So it has been a hectic day. Very hectic day. Very emotional. But Tom, perhaps it was the calming influence of Hannibal, that perhaps your mind is just sharp, or the dizziness has relieved your head for a few spare moments. But this looks exactly where you left, like by the foot. He stuck you right back where you left off.
Mm.
And then eventually in time, Mila, Patrick, and even Al, it just takes a little bit longer for you to realize this. That's all. You find landmarks, you recognize them.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, Bear asks, "Are we safe? The air is different here. Where are we?"
Well, to answer your first question, we're safe for the moment from the Coalition. I don't believe they have much presence out this far. As far as I understand, I'm not the best traveled individual, but we are at the... Are they still called the Appalachian Mountains, or is this just for our reference?
No, they would still be called, at least in Patrick. It's an excellent question because with the apocalypse, naming things kind of go by the wayside. Luckily, you have a very good database that is Patrick, and I feel that it is definitely very. I mean, he knows enough, and it was popular enough. He would have found a reference to it, so he would know it'd be the Appalachian Mountains, and he'd communicate it to you.
Mhm.
Okay. So that was a long explanation of saying fucking yes. Oh, what do you think? Jesus.
I guess at that moment, best time than ever, he would probably be like, I wonder where, because it's not the smallest area of the Appalachians. So, should I do some sort of combination of things like land navigation to...
Sure. What the thing is that I think you're going to have to travel just a little bit further, get a little bit more reference point. Tell you what, I'll have you roll one this session, and I'll have you roll one next session. And by that time, you would have... Wait a second. No, we spoke out of session about this.
Yes.
And you did travel already for quite a bit. Fuck it, just roll me land navigation. If you flat out succeed, I'll tell you.
Right.
Yep, that's a great success. So, where I told you, do you need a refresher?
I guess I can give I think I got the information somewhere around between Pennsylvania and Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Pre-Riffs, Pennsylvania. Pre-Riffs, Maryland. Now there ain't no Pennsylvania or Maryland, but where it used to be. So you could say, as a reference, close, maybe about 200 miles off the eastern coast, near the center north of what was known as the American Empire. Far fucking away, like 600, 700, 800 miles from where you were. I don't know exactly. I have to look at Google Maps, but a long ass distance.
It's pretty long, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. May I also glean the information that I was looking for before? I probably don't even have to do that.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Good.
Cool.
So I guess we will probably have to speak with Bear first before I ask the group for a favor, I suppose.
Okay.
First things first.
All right. Yeah, well, Bear definitely wants to talk. There was, speaking of explanations, and he's very, very eager to try to spark Nora's memory. But ask your question first. Everyone can ask their questions first if they want.
I guess I only have one question for you, Bear. We don't really know Mila's history or yours. Where was... I can't remember. Was it a clan?
No, it was a town. A wonderful town filled with wonderful people.
Where was that town?
Its name was Penshaw. It was off a lake, a large lake, perhaps 150, 200 miles from where I found you. A small community, but a strong community, led by its founder and protected by myself and, before me, Nora's parents, or more specifically Nora's mother, while her father was a very good man and assisted in leading the community.
Is Nora here for this?
Yes, of course.
Okay. She's just sitting there being quiet, listening.
All right.
Okay.
So, any other
Uh,
questions, or do you want Bear to start going?
I guess I would. No, I probably would have lived more south than that. I probably wouldn't have known any sort of events that far north, I think.
Yeah, north,
Yeah.
northeast, perhaps. Yeah. He didn't give you specifications, but he's not in the mood to point it out on a map. Perhaps he
Alright.
doesn't even know.
Alright. It, Patrick has his information and he'll be quiet.
Hmm. Okay. You asked me who I was and what happened. Nora, do you remember any of this yet?
She shakes her head.
Hmm. Oh, Bear furrows his brow, looks disturbed, and he says, perhaps then I will start at the beginning. Penshaw, strong, dependable, my home, good, fine people. We started to get sick. There were others like me, not exactly like me, but others who were not human, but they were accepted all the same. It didn't matter if it was people, or if it was what you called DBs or others. We all started to get sick. It was a weakening, flu-like symptom, coughs, fevers, and then the entire body would shut down. Very painful, very long. At first, we thought it was just a fluke, something that would come and pass and burn up, but it didn't. It started to spread. He looks over to Nora and he says, "It took some very strong, very dear people to both of us." And he casts his big hazel eyes away, looking back towards the rest of the group as he explains. We were getting weaker, and we needed help. I took some of the most dependable and healthiest individuals. We were going to go to a nearby town to try to find some sort of medical assistance. We departed, and Penshaw at that point, although ill, although sick, was still there for us. We traveled for a day or so and came across a group of hunters. They were friendly, they were kind, and they offered us assistance. They knew the back way to the town, a shortcut that passed that even I didn't know. We accepted their generosity and we traveled on, very pleased that we were able to cut some time in our travel. Unfortunately, Natalie, one of the Penshaw residents, a friend of mine, she started to cough. She started to get a fever. And then one of the hunters did as well. They began to grow scared. They began to ask us questions. We tried to be honest, but tempers started to flare. Accusations started to fly, and soon weapons were unsheathed. We tried to defuse the situation, but we fought. And by the end, it was only me and one trapper named Eddard that lay, both wounded, on the forest floor. We both probably would have bled out, but we came across a group of mercenaries, headhunters they called themselves, very strange insignias, but kind nevertheless. They took us to this nearby town and helped us gain strength. My wounds were deep, and they were strong. The trapper named Eddard, or Eddie as he preferred to be called, recuperated next to me. He admitted how sore he was that things broke up into violence, and we could do nothing but talk for a while. We spoke with each other, came to an understanding with each other, and Eddie healed up faster than I did. In fact, the doctors at this town, they did their best, but they didn't understand my physiology. They decided to transfer me to doctors who might be a little bit more familiar with my kind, or at least with aliens. So they sent me by bus, by a truck, to a place called Perrin's Post. It was there in its clinic that I recovered. When I finally healed up, there was a doctor, a very strange doctor with robotic eyes looking at me. And before I departed, he asked me about something called antibodies. Antibodies, he explained, were little bits of our immune system, bits that help try to fend off disease and bacteria. And he said that certain antibodies look different dependent on the disease it is trying to treat. He said there was a type of antibody in my bloodstream that he only saw once before. I asked him how, and I asked him who. He mentioned your description, Nora, and I knew that you were out there. I grew confused, asked him about your whereabouts, and then departed. I first went back to Penshaw, and it lay in ruins. Something attacked it. Bodies strewn everywhere, buildings blasted in half, nothing left, not
Wait,
a single soul.
It was blasted?
Yes, Penshaw is gone, Nora. I am sorry. Do you remember any of this?
She looks like she's concentrating hard, like she's staring at her hands, like thinking, but she eventually looks up and just shakes her head.
He nods a little bit and he says, "That is all right, perhaps in time. I don't know how you escaped, Nora. I don't know if you left beforehand or what happened." He pauses for a moment and he says, "You don't remember anything? You don't remember your mate?"
She looks up. I'm sorry.
He pauses for a moment and says, No. I will speak of this later when you remember. Right now you look so confused and
You
so
s-
pained.
You said my mate?
Yes, your life partner, your mate, the one you call husband.
She gets up and she starts kind of pacing. This can't be the right person. I would remember this kind of thing.
I am sorry you look so confused and so hurt. I didn't mean to upset you, Nora. I was just explaining what happened. I wanted you to remember.
I think I will talk later, Bear. She walks out of the room and just goes to her room.
Bear nods, moving to follow, but stops soon enough when you enter your room, and he comes back and he says, "Perhaps I will finish. To fully explain why I'm here now, would you like to listen?"
Very much so.
So finding Penshaw destroyed, I realized that my only hope of finding it was finding Nora. The doctor mentioned that you traveled with a group in a big metal machine, and he gestures over to the behemoth. And he says, so I followed from a town called Innisfail to a town called New Laszlo. When I reached New Laszlo, I realized I was only a day or so behind you. I was very excited until I came upon the road south, the trajectory in which your caravan was supposedly taken. I found a group of people. They looked like they were the part of the traveling band. They had quite a few robots and caravans and trucks themselves. as much as the defenses of Penshaw ever had, even more so. But they were skittish, they were nervous, they were worried, and they were untrustworthy of me. I asked about your whereabouts, and they said that you were gone, whisked away with magic, and they had no idea where you were or even if you would come back. They didn't speak any more to me. They continued to travel on. It was then that my heart was broken. I thought I'd lost you completely. I mourned for the loss of my friend, and I started to head back up towards New Laszlo, stunned as to what to do next. It was then that I caught a glimpse of you. I thought you were a figment of my imagination, an illusion, a desperate prayer that I gave, and an answer. But I realized illusions don't sparkle in the sun like your craft does, nor does the metal taste of the exhaust hit my tongue. That is not a figment. So I followed you. As I mentioned before, as I followed, you were much faster than I was. But as I followed through the woods, I came across a small group of 5 individuals in black armor and heavy weapons. I recognized the skulls as coalition. We only very rarely came across them, but even despite my size, I am stealthy in the woods. I could overhear them and they could not see me. They mentioned attacking a craft such as yours. I realized if I made myself known, they might attack me. So I made sure I didn't make myself known as I... Well, I am not proud of what I did, but I knew Nora was in danger, and their lives weren't as important as hers. I killed them, one by one, and then I found you. Here I am. And now, we are someplace else, but you say we are safe. And for that, for the past few weeks, I am calmer than I have been. Nora is here. She is scared and confused, but she is with people who want to protect her, and she is with me. I am happy.
Al will, like, he's taking it all in, and then he'll look to make sure that Mila's doors is, I'm assuming, closed.
What, Amelia's door?
Yeah. Nora's
Mila,
door,
did
yeah.
you close your door?
Yep, she closed her door.
Right.
Yes.
She may be listening though. If you're
I know.
not like she has good hearing or anything.
Al's going to say, I thank you for telling us, and in return I will tell you what I can of what I know that's happened to her, which is not much.
Okay.
She has some time between when she left you and when we found her, or she found us, and started traveling with us. She had mind over matter implants placed in her head. I do not know if it was voluntary. I do not know if it was forced. I really have no idea. I don't know a lot about them, but I do know that it is common for those that receive those implants to get heightened strength, healing, other powers that I am not familiar with. In return, it will damage their minds. It's different for everyone, and I'm no expert on it, but it is most commonly seen as non-reversible. Meaning that she may never remember you or where you come from. She might, but you need to be able to accept that this is who she is now, and she may not be able to go back to who she was.
With low, rumbling determination in his voice, he brings his hazel eyes to yours and he says, "She will remember me."
Al nods and he says, I truly hope you're right.
Thank you. Or, should I say, Alonahin?
Al will cock his head
I'm sorry. I suppose my Elven is very rusty. I apologize.
Oh. It's fine. Al looks rather confused. But he said, and then he pauses and he says, I can't speak for everyone else, but as long as you're a friend of Nora's, you're a friend of mine, and you're welcome to stay with her for as long as she wants it. Not that we could keep you away, he says, kind of half jokingly.
He gives a little thoughtful nod and he goes, yes. Thank you for your hospitality. I don't know exactly what to do next. Mila is in her space. It is best to... Oh, wait, I said Mila.
Yeah,
I
you said
shouldn't. I also shouldn't speak in character. Oh, boy. I'm sorry. I broke it.
Oh,
Nora. Nora is in her space.
Here you go. You got it. Good job. It's safe.
Thank you. Thank you, old friend who forgets me. And he just kind of looks around and says, shall I make my den here?
we can offer you a room. I had a question, though, if you don't
Mhm.
mind. And Al
Speak.
starts talking a little quieter, but still so that Bear can hear him. If we're to help her, it would be best to understand exactly what's happened. You should know, as I mentioned briefly, there are now, for lack of a better term, two people in one body. The one you call Nora, which is the one you spoke to today, and one named Mila, who is very, very different. I'm curious to know if, I'm not quite sure how to say this, if you can help with this. The Nora you knew before was the one you talked to today, or a mix of the two? Mila is very charming, very innocent, almost childlike, always happy, loves to climb trees, and loves to sing. Nora is, and Al gets even a little quieter, very angry a lot of the time, but a good person. She has
That-
trouble with her controlling her anger.
That doesn't sound like Nora. Neither do.
Is it possible that the Nora you knew was a more moderate version of both?
Maybe. I will have to see her more. I will have to talk with her more to know for sure.
Then may I
But
ask,
Nora is still in there.
Then may I ask a favor? If she seems very charming, very happy, and very innocent, please do not mention Nora. Mila does not know about Nora, and Nora is afraid of what would happen if Mila finds out.
This could hurt her.
It could hurt her.
Then I will not do it. I will call her by this other name, or call her by no name at all.
Thank you.
Okay. Any questions from Bern or Patrick? Sorry, I mean Tom or Patrick?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
It doesn't exist anymore.
No.
I'm
do
still
know.
taking all this in.
Okay,
I know,
probably
right?
good call.
I-
Probably good.
I do know what to say. I'm just gonna be friendly about this. Hey, how do you know Elvin?
The world I am from, that I came from when I was a pup, we had very good relations with the elves. I remember some scattered phrases.
Huh. Different world. Neat.
Yes. Yes, I was not born here.
If you mind answering, how did you get here?
Truly, I do not remember all that much. I remember when I was not quite a pup, not quite an adult, in between The term for you is Adol something. I was Adol, and I was exploring. Hmm. You know what
Adolescent?
Yes, yes, yes. I was an adolescent, and I was exploring down within a cave. It was something I did for fun. I always did enjoy the wild, and I always loved finding secrets. I smelled something different, something off, and I soon found a strange orange light at the end of a cave. I walked through it, and before I knew it, the cave led into another cave. I escaped it, and that orange light turned into a blue light, and the blue light surrounded everything until I exited the cave. It became a line that shot through the cave itself. I followed the line for as long as I could, and then found out I wasn't home anymore. Something happened. I think it is magic, but magic is relatively new, exciting, dangerous to my people. Now I understand why.
Orange
But
light.
that is... Yes.
Cool.
It is all right, though. I lost my old home and found a second home. But now my second home is gone. Now my second home lies within Nora only. She's the last fragment of it. You understand why she is important.
Yes. It does take a little bit for Patrick to actually, like, get a good... He really does think about every single question that is presented to him. He does think for a bit, and kind of, like, almost with a confused face, but also just kind of like, I think that makes sense.
Okay.
If you would like, then I can show you to a room.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. Alonahin, he asks, a little bit more carefully, pronouncing it a little bit more carefully.
I
Better?
am sorry, but I actually don't speak the language of my people. And Al
He looks
stumbles on the my
confused.
people part.
You were not born on Palladium, then.
I was not born an elf.
He pauses and thinks and says, I see.
So this way.
Mm-hmm. And he pauses and nods his big furry head. And you can say you settle him in. And is there any other
Yeah.
scenes that you guys would like? I think we're going to wind down this session, to tell you the truth, but I want to leave it with the ball in your court, guys. What would you like to do?
And Tom, I want to talk to you. I think there's one very important scene that we should do before the session ends, which
Sure.
is a cremation.
Yep.
Okay.
Because
That we can do.
otherwise they're going to smell.
Mm.
Yep.
Mm?
I mean, if we had foresight, we could have gotten refrigerators and
Why?
that kind of thing to. I
Tyrath
don't
already
know.
told us it's not reversible.
Yeah,
Not
that
going
is
back.
true.
So, yep. So I think that we would probably put Bear on in the free room next to Lee, which is closest to Mila's.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
boy.
what I was
That's
thinking.
going to be an awesome pairing. Lee and Bear. Holy
God.
shit.
Lee and Bear.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know.
Um,
Al,
mhm.
maybe I'm just having some nostalgia, okay? Because
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be insensitive. I just
I know this was supposed to be a thing. Didn't be a thing.
if we are to get
Should have
past
fucking
it,
killed him. We had the chance.
Al actually looks really hurt. I'm sorry.
I'm just being bitter. Don't worry about me. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah. Shall we?
Yep. I'll carry mine. You got yours?
Yeah. And
And we
yeah.
will find a place.
Are
I will
you
make sure that they're.
opening up to other people to come with, or is
Yeah,
this a
yes,
private-
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, we're
everybody,
gonna
if they
let
want to.
everyone know what's going on, and
Pam's gonna show up, of course.
mhm.
Al, why not? I mean, sorry, not Al. Lee, Al's dead. Lee is. Lee says, yeah, sure, why not? He's interested. And Alicia will definitely come too. Bear's getting settled.
Yeah,
Up to meet Lenora.
I'm going to. Yeah.
Nora does not go.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, I'm going to find a place that is going to be at, like, maybe in the middle of a clearing. Make it so that the fire will not spread. Do the whole fire circle and everything
Okay.
and all of that.
Okay. Also, you can control it with your mind, so you're all good.
Al's
Yeah.
actually after staring at it a long time and thinking about it, Al's actually going to remove the very damaged hand
Okay.
and keep it.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right.
And then Al, I guess, will put her hand on Tom's shoulder and say, "Whenever you're ready."
Yeah. It this is going to be very weird looking at his own body.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess before he gets up, Tom's going to toss his own hair. Which
That
is
is
fucked up a
fucking
bit.
Yeah.
But yeah. He's
You feel your own hair with fingers that are new to you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to go back and ask if anybody wants to say anything or if I should just get this started.
Well, you're not really dead, Alicia says. I don't know.
Nope.
And then Lee says, what does Lee say? Oh, Lee asks, we're downwind, right?
Are we downwind?
You can be, sure.
Okay, sure. We're downwind.
Sure. He goes, okay, that's good. Because, this
You
could
don't
probably
want to
stay.
spell it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Right? And, yeah, and that'll be it. I can't speak for Pamel.
Yeah. Patrick?
Which is bad, but I can't do it.
Patrick's not there.
Oh,
Okay.
he's not. Okay.
No.
Al?
Al looks really uncomfortable. I don't really know what one would say at their own, not a funeral.
Hmm.
At least she gets
technically-
envision- Oh, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
This is like the second time I've died. Technically, if you got to be technical about it. Quote, and he's doing air quotes. So I guess this is the beginning of a new chapter.
Al nods.
And he's going to look at Al. Okay.
And Al would say, I know that this isn't exactly the ideal situation, but I suppose one thing we can all take from this is that Nathan once told us that sometimes there is a force that's so strong and so powerful that you can't beat it, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. And I think that we just showed that there's always a way.
Very good. And then with that, Tom will hold out his right hand and ignite both bodies.
They go up. The sickening smell of human flesh although not wafting directly towards you, cannot be disguised. Alicia and Lee and Pam gag a little bit, and after a few minutes they excuse themselves so they're not there for the rest of the bonfire, leaving just the two of you over the smoldering, cremating bodies that you once lived in. You were born into. And soon, after a few hot, fiery moments, the pops and sizzles stop, and only dust remains.
I think with that, Al would put an arm around Tom's shoulders and say, Tom, my very adult friend, you want to go get something to drink?
Yeah, I would.
And then they'll
Then
go
we're
back to
gonna
the behemoth
make our way back to the
Yeah.
behemoth.
and
Yeah.
drink.
And drink!
Yes.
Whiskey's all Lee's. You can go fuck yourself. He's already started. And actually, Lee would suggest, he's like, hey, we're going to have a wake for this. Is a non-wake appropriate for a non-funeral? Because I'm up for it.
Give me some fucking booze.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Okay.
Lee, I was like, Lee, you know that I don't drink.
Well, your old body didn't drink.
Al says, you're absolutely right. At least for tonight.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, he says. And he's happier than he's been for the past couple days. He hasn't been necessarily all that pissy. But finally, someone drinks on this fucking behemoth. And he teaches you 7 different drinking games.
Oh, by the way, before I forget, I should note the battered hand now has a permanent spot mounted in Al's room.
Yeah, I figured.
And then they get very drunk. You know,
Yes.
it's not the blonde hair. It's the problem with the lack of the eye. It's these damn ears. You have any idea what it's like moving on a pillow when your ears are the size of a sail?
And then Lee's like, we could pin them to the side of your head.
That's
was-
see. Al's like, I thought that, but you don't do that to an elf.
Well, how
It's
do you
like,
know?
He looks at like
I've
Al
never
makes these
been.
exaggerated motions towards his ears. This is what I am. You don't
And
pin.
Tom's just
you
gonna
don't
be giggling.
pin that.
Al says, he points, he's like, wait, I know exactly what you are. And I know exactly what you are. And he points over to Al. Do you want to know my secret? Do you want to know what you really are?
Wait.
Shit-faced! You're all shit-faced!
I'm sorry. Al thinks
He
about it.
pukes and then passes out.
Al thinks about it. He's like,
Careful.
Yeah.
my God, he's right.
Alright. There we go. I think that's a good way. Unless, is there anything else? Anything else?
No.
people like?
No.
We during all of this, Patrick was half working on the map
Okay.
to see exactly where we were in comparison to the other thing. If you
Okay.
need me to roll again, I'm gonna actually need a
No,
penalty.
you did enough rollings. Oh, what? You want to take a penalty?
Yeah, I was distracted.
Oh, okay. All right, sure. Why not? One more roll.
All right. Let's get a good 10. That seems to be a distracted number.
Yeah. It's a good distracted number. You still succeed.
Alright.
Right? Yeah.
Which skill would this be? Land navigation?
Yeah, it would be.
I failed by 4
Oh, gasp. Okay, then you're going to have your revelation tomorrow. Yeah,
Oh boy.
Mm.
there you go. There you go.
There was a couple of things that I wanted to say while we were getting shit faced.
Oh, yeah, well, go ahead. Yeah, we
I'm
can
not gonna
retcon
roleplay.
this shit. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I'm
don't
not going to
roleplay this
roleplay
one,
it, but I'm
stuff
going to
like this.
mention.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is technically the first time that Tom is getting drunk.
Oh yeah.
Right. That's what I was saying.
Oh, we broke
That's why I
your
said my
drinking,
very.
Jerry.
That's why I said my very adult
Yeah.
friend, because now you're old enough to drink.
Okay.
Yeah. While we were playing all the games and stuff, he would have gone over his past with Lee.
Okay. Oh boy.
Like what happened
Alright.
with the coalition and how he was number 4th on the coalition hit list and why everybody was in danger
Gotcha.
and all of that.
Can't
Also,
guarantee
there
Lee's
was-
gonna remember any of it, but it's nice that you.
Oh
told
yeah. And there was also some mention about before Tom passes out, because he will pass out. There was something about breaking an egg, and that's it. Then he passes out.
me. What? I like it.
Yes.
It makes.
You like it?
Sounds familiar. It sounds really familiar, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a
That's
little
a-
lost too.
I can explain it later.
Okay,
It's got
explain
some
to us later.
backstory.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Well, there you go. Well, then we can find out narrative reasons or something. That's cool. It's nice that you're
Yes.
hinting at it, though.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Well, then I guess we'll, if it's all good, we'll wrap up the session.
Sure.
Cool, cool, cool. All right. Well, we'll see you next time, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.